Dear friends, we give the floor to the next speaker. We invite our partner, our friend from India, Bangalore, Mr. Ramprakash. Time, cycles, and karma. This is a perfect topic that reflects the concept of the Congress. He was born in India. He got education in Bangalore University. He has been in this work since 1972. He's a member of the Indian Institute of the World Culture. Thank you so much for being able to join us today. We're listening to you very attentively. We give you the floor.
Thank you. Am I audible? Good morning, friends. A slight correction. I am a student of Theosophy and have been associate of the United Lodge of Theosophists in Bangalore. So it gives me great pleasure in participating in this wonderful seminar to mark the 147th anniversary of the Theosophical movement. The subject I'm going to speak on is time, cycle, and karma. The subject is so deep, so vast and profound that one can scarcely do any justice to an understanding of it in just 20 minutes. In the short time, we can barely touch upon some essential ideas from a theosophical perspective. What is time? Let's consider the idea of time from Western perspective. Time, in the conception of modern science, in physics to be more precise, is a measure of interval between two events, measured in seconds, minutes, hours, days, years, and so on, from the minutest moment, the greatest magnitude. Time is combined with other quantities as length, mass, charge, mathematically, to derive other concepts like motion, kinetic energy, and so on. This is the concept of time, in short, according to the Newtonian physics. But the conception of time changes in the special theory of relativity of Einstein. According to the special theory of relativity, time does not flow in a standard rhythm of a clock, but it is relative to the observer and speed with which the clock is traveling. To an independent observer, a clock moving at great speed will be ticking at a slower pace than the one which is stationary. According to the theory, time should cease when traveling at the speed of light. In other words, time is relative to the frame of reference of the observer. This is, in brief and very imperfectly expressed, concept of time in Western perspective. Let's consider the conception of time from the Eastern or theosophical perspective. Theosophy is archaic Eastern occultism. According to this ancient wisdom, time is no quantity or existence apart from mind or consciousness. The very important thing I repeat, time is no quantity or existence apart from mind or consciousness. When Einstein stated that time is relative to the frame of reference of the observer, it is not known to us whether he asked the question, who or what is the observing mind or consciousness? If he had asked this question and proceeded to investigate the mystery of mind or the mystery of consciousness, the observer, he probably would have been drawn into Eastern psychology and metaphysics. His conception of reality would have radically changed. Science comes close to metaphysics in a search for truth, in a search for reality, but shrinks back from the borderland where physics ends and metaphysics begins, and refuses to cross over into the vast realms of nominal cause. Let's consider for a while time according to theosophy. The idea and sensation of time is a phenomenon of mind. Where there is no mind, there is no time. This is pretty clear from the verse 1 of stanza 3 of Cosmogenesis. Esoteric philosophy divides boundless duration into unconditioned, eternal, universal time called kala in Sanskrit, and conditioned time called khandakala, meaning divisible cycles of time. Duration is that aspect of absolute unknown, and it is a phenomenon of limitless time, kala. The other divisible and measurable time cycles, is phenomenal, coming to existence with the emergence of Mahat, the third logos. Which is spoken of in the commentary on verse 1 of stanza 3 of the Secret Doctrine. The Secret Doctrine teaches time is an illusion produced by the succession of our states of consciousness as we travel through eternal duration. And it does not exist where no consciousness exists, in which the illusion can be produced. This is volume 1, page 37 of the ST. Now, HBB explains this further in her Transactions of Blavatsky Lodge. She says, this succession of states of consciousness which produce a sense of time is explained by HBB to be the phenomena of our lower manas, that is our brain mind. Our idea and sense of time and space are illusions of our lower mind during the state of our waking consciousness. Now, this is illustrated in our own experience. In dream state, time as we experience it is not the same as we know it in the waking state. In dream, the dreamer may live in a few seconds the events of a lifetime. Again, immediately after death of a person, the experiences of his lifetime are gone through in a few minutes by the mind consciousness or the lower ego in the august presence of the divine ego. This is attested to by people who have survived a death by drowning or have had other near-death experiences. In other words, the sense of time and space are hallucinations of the lower mind, and in the apprehension and perception of immortal higher manas, there is neither space nor time. This is stated in the Transactions of Blavatsky Lodge. Now let's consider for a while the law of cycles and karma. The second fundamental proposition of the secret doctrine states that the law of cycles is a universal law. It postulates that universes appear and disappear in regular succession like the tidal ebb and flow. Cycles operate everywhere and in every realm, like breathing in and breathing out, sleeping and waking, life and death, systole and diastole of the heart, and so on and so forth. The law of cycles is closely connected with karma. Karma is action and reaction, the moral law of cause and effect. We think and act in every moment. We think and act every moment of our waking life and produce thereby consequences which come back to us as effects, which we experience as pain and pleasure. Thus, we produce cycles individually and collectively by our actions. Reincarnation is the effect produced by karma or action performed for selfish ends by us. Karma is the moral effect of an act committed for the attainment of something which gratifies personal desire. This is stated in the Theosophical Glossary by H.B. Series of individual reincarnations, yugas, mahayugas, kalpas, manvantaras, or cycles, smaller ones turning their rounds in the greater ones, produced by collective actions of all beings, smallest to the greatest, by which beings evolve, as taught in the third fundamental proposition of the secret doctrine. Karma is not a law which is extraneous to ourselves. Karma is a law of our being. The higher self of man is the law of absolute justice itself. Plato said justice subsists in the soul. Mr. Judge wrote 31 aphorisms of karma. The very first aphorism states, there is no karma unless there is a being to make it or feel its effects. What does it mean? What does it imply? We make our own destiny by our karma. If karma binds us to the results of our action, good and bad, we can, by a knowledge of the working of the law, learn to so think and act in unison with the harmony of the universal order and the great purpose of life, that we can become liberated from the involuntary cycles of birth and death and attain immortality in spirit, divinity. A widespread knowledge and understanding of the working of the twin law of karma and reincarnation will make mankind responsible and transform our world into an abode of peace, a garden of the gods. And let's remember, karma, cycles, and reincarnation are inextricably interwoven. We cannot separate one from the other. It is this law of all laws. It is in this law that is found solution to every mystery of nature and every riddle of life. I will end this presentation by quoting a part of HBB's third message to American Theosophists. Quote, "We are outwardly creatures of a day, within we are eternal. Learn then well this doctrine of karma and reincarnation, and teach, practice, and promulgate that system of life and thought which alone can save the coming races." Unquote. Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Dear Ramprakash, thank you very much for this wonderful lecture, this wonderful presentation. You have touched upon a global topic, a very deep one, which of course requires a special attention and special approach. You managed to give the main concept of three parts: time, cycles, and karma. And this is wonderful and such an analytical, professional, deep insight and deep work that defined several important conceptual methods as we see it, which requires a particular study and development of this particularly complicated material. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation. Thank you very much.